Welcome to the Biz to Biz podcast, your number one source for all business news.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to B2B Vault, the Biz to Biz podcast. And today's episode is featuring crypto as the topic. And today we have two crypto experts that I've known for a while from CurPay, Ted Hoover and Curtin. And today we're going to chop it up and talk about what's going on with crypto and and see, so everybody can it's like a hot topic. Everybody's talking about crypto. I think one of the, Bitcoin is over 100 grand again today. And I don't know, I heard Trump released a coin and I don't even know if that's directly his or somebody else. You guys know about that Trump coin?
Yeah, it's skyrocketed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It skyrocketed?
Yeah, it skyrocketed, and then Melania put out a coin, and then Barron even put out a coin.
So they're putting out a lot of coins.
Yes, sir.
You're going to see a lot of that, I think.
I don't know. I'm very skeptical on these, on all these meme coins or whatever they call them, right? What do you guys call those coins?
Meme coins?
Meme coins.
Meme coins?
Yeah. You should be skeptical because most of them are going to rug pull. 99% of them will rug pull. Meaning that they'll put out a coin, prices skyrocket, and the developers or the owners of the coin will pull it. They'll pull all their capital out while that price is high, leaving everybody else with a low price.
That happened with that Haktua girl, right?
Yes. Yep. It sure did.
She was involved in some coin fiasco.
Yep, they made millions on that, and anybody who bought into it lost.
Really? Wow, that's crazy. She said she didn't know. What do you think? You think she knew?
I think she knew some part of it. Yeah, for sure. I think she probably got talked into it because she didn't have the experience, but she profited from it for sure. The developers really profited from it though. Whoever had her do that, they made a lot of money. They made millions.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I see all, now I'm looking at like Dogecoin today. Bitcoin's at 103. Doge is up to 579. It's actually down a little bit. Oh, it's at 36 cents. And then, Shibu Inu, everybody was in love with that. I have like a few million of those. Maybe if it goes up to like a couple of pennies, that would be nice.
Just hold on to it. Then you don't have to worry about those taxes. As long as you hold it, you don't have to worry about taxes.
Well, you only have to work. The taxes go down if you hold it for more than a year.
Yep.
Then the taxes go way down. If you're buying and selling like on the elevator, going up and down, then you're not doing that. What do you guys think about Chris? You got to chime in a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Chris, what do you think about these the Bitcoin EFTs?
I think it's a great entry for those that don't know much about crypto, right? You have a lot of people that have hedge fund investments. And if you have the opportunity to buy into it that way rather than have to find a method to do it on your own, I think it's a great option and it's great for the market.
The one thing that I see with that is I don't see like that much volatility with the price of the EFTs, like going like they didn't skyrocket like the value of that one that's run by BlackRock. I don't think the price went up that high in relative to like Bitcoin went from 70,000 up to over 100. Right, a $30,000 swing. I didn't really see their stock take a big jump.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are still skeptical of crypto, right? So the BlackRock investors are old school investors, and they're just skeptical. But BlackRock's got a foot in it, and they own a lot of Bitcoin. That's what the EFTs did for them.
Do you think that in the EFT push of BlackRock that they're going to say to you, hey, Ted, listen, we have this availability, and try to sell it to people? Or are they going to kind of try to push new business to that? Like you're talking the older regime.
Yeah,
right.
The older regime, it's just another investment for them. They'll put 5% of their investment into it, and hopefully it goes up. Who really benefits from it, though, obviously, is the owners. right? If you're an investor and you buy into an EFT, then you're not really buying that coin. You're just buying the EFT. So
Right. Yeah,
Right,
they
the
can
overall,
buy
the
the
overall
difference
price.
with the EFTs, they can buy and sell inside the EFT and there's no taxes.
exactly. Yep.
So that's kind of an interesting concept. But I was watching the stock to see if it went up. And also I saw like a company Betterment. They issued they came out with a crypto EFT. And I was watching that one too to see if the prices were fluctuating. And I didn't see a big price fluctuation when it went from 70 to 100 grand on the EFT. You would think the value of the EFT would go up. I didn't really see that kind of jump.
Yeah, you could think. No, not
So,
really.
no,
I think it's just because you're dealing with old school investors, but these big places like
you're breaking up a little bit. Hello, Chris, do you hear me?
No,
it's
I was fading out there.
all that snow you're getting is messing with your internet.
Yeah, we didn't get any snow down here. It's pretty cold outside. It was actually like 60 this morning when I walked Rocky, and now it's down to 53. And the North Florida got snow for the first time. The record was 2.4, 2.6 inches, and they got 8 inches of snow. So that's crazy.
It sounds right.
Alan, your internet's cutting out, buddy. You froze.
Froze.
Yeah, you're froze, buddy.
But let's keep on the EFT thing, Ted. So if, like Alan was saying, the
Am I still
investment
frozen?
that they allocate in that EFT, no, we're gonna.
Oh, we lost you.
So is it the overall value of the EFT is just?
Hello, am I back?
It looks like you're coming back. Yeah, your videos went sharp again. Yeah, it looks like it.
Well, we're gonna have to run a line back in here again. Yeah, we have one in the room, a wire. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back into the EFT again. Like, what? How come we don't see the value of those EFTs going up?
I think that, like I said, it's pretty much a lot of people are on hold. You know, there's still the lingering crypto, everyth's bad type situation where, you know, a lot of the old school investors still have it, actually. But they're not buying into AFTs. They're just buying and holding. They're putting a lot of their life savings into it.
Yeah, I guess if you put in something.
You know,
so what? So
something. If somebody put in and just hold, you put a little bit in, buy 50 here, buy 50 there. It's going to pay off in the long run.
I really would hold on a second. I really would like to know what the BlackRock pitch is to their people, right? Like what are they saying to them when they have this EFT? When they come out and say, "Hey, listen, Chris, we have this amazing new EFT." What's the actual pitch? Would be good to hear. Be interesting.
I guess you're buying crypto with the risk of not actually buying it. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, true. And then, like Ted said, everybody's a little bit weary. So how do you overcome that piece? That's the other one.
Time and establishment. Banks have it out for crypto, right? So because they were directed by the governments to not facilitate it at all, unofficially. So when that becomes acceptable, when banks start saying, "Hey, cool, now I can deal with this crypto thing," then people will be more apt to buy into it, to understand how the technology works, how to utilize these cross-border payments. You can't beat it for cross-border payments.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is when we're talking about crypto and crypto acceptance, like people transacting with crypto, I was in a meeting about a week or two ago, and obviously when Trump got, he won the election, and then all of a sudden crypto went crazy and the prices went up. one of the banks came out in a risk meeting, and they were like, yeah, if we see any merchants on their website saying they accept crypto, we're going to turn off the merchant accounts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funneled down from the government's saying it to the banks, right? So
Yeah.
they're directing that, and I think that'll change. I think that's going to continually to get better and better and better. Compliance officers are going to get more educated on what it actually is. I mean, let's face it. If I pay you $100, you can give that $100 to Chris. Nobody knows that I paid you that $100, right? In cash. But with crypto, if I pay you $100 worth of Bitcoin and then you give it to Chris, I know exactly where it came from. I know, not only do I know where it came from, I know where it was mined, and I know every route that it's ever taken. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing for everybody.
Well, it can
I
definitely, you can trace it from a money laundering perspective, what's
oh,
going on.
exactly, and
But I
I
think
think
also, yeah.
governments are getting they're opening their eyes to that, right?
Yeah, and you
So
have good people like Kate Long out there in Wyoming pushing against the government, trying to get back to the banking when they did the whole collapse and put the locks on, like Ted was saying. You have good people out there that are pushing for the re-regulation of it so the banks are able to accept it.
So
yeah,
I've talked to some like crypto enthusiasts, and I'll let you guys weigh in on this, right? So they'll talk to me about like, they'll be like, oh, well, there's this whole underground crypto economy where everybody's got these cold wallets, little thumb drives with their crypto on it. And basically, like, so if I have my thumb drive with crypto and then I want to give Chris $1,000 of that crypto, I can send it to him from my wallet, aka the cold wallet, to his cold wallet, but no, who's monitoring that transaction?
nobody, and it shouldn't be.
No one.
Why is it anybody's business if I give you $100?
Goes back
Well,
to the
it's a
so real
business
quick,
transaction,
but it goes back to Ted's example of giving each other $100, right? So
right?
it's the same thing, just in a digital manner.
No, I get it. It's like a P2P, like a Zelle, right? I could Zelle you $100 and you could Zelle me $100, right? But the bank knows what that is. But if it's a business transaction, like I'm selling you, 1,000 cups, right? And you pay me with cold wallet crypto, and then I'm not cashing it out. I'm just holding on to it. A guy was telling me a story. He owned a pizza shop in Connecticut, and he had these guys had a crypto business down the street, and they were buying pizzas every day. And one day they asked him this, oh, can we pay you with Bitcoin? I don't remember what the price of Bitcoin was at the time, but it was like $5. And he said, sure, pay me with Bitcoin. So the guy was paying them with Bitcoins and giving them, basically, they were just like literally like a thumb drive and sending the guy the coins through some, I don't even know what website they used. And he had a cook, and the cook was like, oh, you can pay me with those Bitcoins. He told me that guy's like a multimillionaire now.
Yeah,
The guy
exactly.
who was making
Yeah.
pizzas, he's just literally
Early
cashes out
adopters,
like, huh?
early adopters, right? Early
Yeah,
adopters.
he just cashes out a little bit, and he's just living off the Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, for sure. And there's coins that are actually better for transacting those type of transactions than Bitcoin. For example, Dash, it gets confirmed within 2 seconds. There's not a really high gas fees, which are the fees you pay when you make a transaction.
Right.
So we're talking Bitcoin, but Bitcoin really is something you should put in a cold wallet and leave it there and never touch it until you need it or you're ready to cash out or whatever when you feel the price is high. There's a lot of others that are much better at those type of transactions, right? So
Well, we see the price of XRP going.
I was just going to say Ripple. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. It's over $3, right? So that's how we kind of got our started. It was we were trading Ripple back in the day, and Ripple's an amazing technology. Now that's a centralized coin, so that there is no external miners that take care of that. That's all internal to the Ripple. So you can track every Ripple transaction. That's amazing for cross border transactions. So if I want to send your company, $1 million through a bank, I've got to go through a whole lot of hooks and ladders, right? So, but if I want to send you XRP, I just send you XRP. Boom, it's done. Within seconds, you have your XRP.
Yeah, kind of the issue is, you want to pay a bill. You can't really pay a bill with this stuff. So you got to that's got to get cashed out.
Right, exactly. And that's where you have to rely on exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini, where you go to them and you receive the crypto there. You then cash out for USD. Or you have a establishment like CurPay that does that for you. But then again, you run into the banking thing again. The banks then say, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. What's this? I don't understand this. I'm being told this is not good. We can't allow this. So
yeah, some banks get upset when people get deposits from like Coinbase. They go, "Oh, where's this money coming from? Who Coinbase is sending you $50,000? Like, what happened?"
Right, exactly.
Yep. I remember I cashed out some coin and I got a phone call from my bank, and they were like, "Hey, can you come into the bank today? We need to discuss. Like, you got 5 deposits from Coinbase. Who's Coinbase?"
Right,
I didn't even know what it was.
And it's a publicly traded company, right?
It's what, yeah, but they didn't know what it was. This was years and years ago when everything like first started, and I was invested in a mining thing, and we were mining coins, and then I was buying coins on Coinbase. And back then you could only send Coinbase like $500 a day. So I was sending, 500, 500, 500. I was buying, and there was no rule. There was no tax. There was tax on the profit, but it was treated completely different than it's treated today.
Right. And that's where regulations do come in. And as much as we want to be decentralized, we do need regulations and clarity, really clarity, because the IRS makes up their rules on what they feel it's supposed to be. The SECs have made up their rules on what they feel it's supposed to be, and so on and so forth. When we get clarity, then everybody can play by the rules. Everybody can play by the same rules, right? So once clarity comes in, then you'll see a lot less market manipulation, because right now there's a lot of market manipulation. When you see these highs that go to 109, somebody's working that in the background. And
definitely. There's definitely like whales out there. I've talked to a couple guys who are crypto whales, and they're like, yeah, all we do is we're just riding it up and riding it down and making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day.
Exactly.
A day.
Yep, exactly. And that's what our software does, is it does that for you.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, if you're playing with $1 million or $500,000, you can definitely ride stuff up and ride stuff down, just like in the stock market, like day trading,
Right. But you could do that with $5. So that's the thing, is that there's nothing that says you can't buy $5 worth of Bitcoin today and then sell it at 110, say, for example, and then when it goes down again, you buy back in again, and you're slowly increasing your wallet, right? You're building your bags, as we say.
Right.
That's the nice thing, as opposed to, like, say, stocks, where you have places like Robinhood and whatnot, but generally people don't have the ability to do that in stocks. You have to jump through hoops for that.
I would love to do an experiment, put in like $50 and see exactly how much can I turn the $50 into in a year, and then how much is and then what would the tax bill be? And do I come out ahead, or does the taxes just gobble it all up?
At the end of the day, the taxes are on your capital gains, just like stock. So if you make $100, you have to pay taxes on $100. If you keep it for more than a year, like you were saying before, the taxes are a lot less. So you hold it and sell it at the end, at the beginning of the year, or however you want to do that. But I mean, it's a tax nightmare for sure, because you have to account for every transaction. That's where the tax nightmare comes in. It's no different than any other capital gains situation, as far as taxes go. But it is a nightmare, because there are so many transactions. But we should set up an account for you at CurPay. We'll set up an account at CurPay. You put $50 on your in your exchange and just let it go. See what it does.
That would be pretty interesting experiment. And then come back in a few months and then see exactly how much we were able to turn it into.
Right. Exactly. And of course, a lot depends on the market, but But if it's 3 in the morning and the price goes up to 110, and then at 5 in the morning it goes back down to 104, you're not going to catch that. But where our AI does, our AI says, "Oh, we'll sell this. All right, let's buy back in." And you're like, "Wait a minute, I had 3 transactions last night. Why did it do that? Oh, look at that. The price went up and it went back down again. And look, I've got just that little bit, a few Satoshis more Bitcoin."
Right. So the like we talked before, we think like the markets where we saw a lot of success where people were using Bitcoin to buy items and then get fiat in their bank accounts, right? Businesses. The success we saw was with like adult clubs, people buying champagne rooms, some nightclubs, real estate transactions, which can be very complicated because somebody might have to pay with multiple wallets to get hundreds of thousands of dollars because they're not keeping all their coin on one wallet. So you might need multiple invoices. People renting yachts, paying for vacations. We saw a lot of that. And then all of a sudden, the last president, changed the tax laws around, and then all of a sudden, like all that spending kind of stopped. And also, I think some of the people using that started going like wallet to wallet, kind of like handing each other cash versus, they got more educated on the whole crypto scene and started doing those kind of transactions. Although you can't really do that with real estate. And I think the banks kind of soured on the real estate also.
Yeah, they did. And that, again, that comes back down from the regulations, the regulators putting the hold on that. One thing that you mentioned is that, the adult clubs, we've always said that, what if you put what is it, the UPC seal tattoo on the girl and they could just scan your phone right on her butt? That's perfect. Tip her that way, right?
Right. No, that was going on in a few clubs that people were tipping the dancers with coin. We heard about that. I mean, today a lot of tipping is going on with Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, because we see it. Someone will do a chargeback, and then the next thing you know, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm charging back this transaction, but also I gave the girl $1,500 in my Zelle or Venmo, and she didn't come to my hotel." Well, that has nothing to do with the club. They're independent contractors.
Right.
Can't charge that back.
Right.
So, that's the other good thing with crypto. There's no chargebacks when it comes to disputes.
Yeah,
you can't really do a dispute.
Exactly.
So what do you guys think the future holds for like businesses and crypto? What do you think? Do you think it's going to be I think it's more limited right now to like larger, larger purchases, like luxury purchases. And I think until it's actually like working on a credit card machine where the transaction's taking place like on the credit card terminal, and then it's sending a message back to the terminal and producing a receipt. I think that, so someone can pay for a pizza or a meal. I think we're kind of a ways off from seeing like that type of technology.
No, it's here. We have it. We have a POS. We have you can use a POS as a merchant. We just display a QR code, and the consumer scans his wallet right on the QR code, and it comes back and notifies the merchant that, hey, the transaction went through.
Right, but I'm saying it's not like included in their credit card batch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Credit card companies don't want to mix and match. That's why. That's the reason.
Yeah. But that's a different solution. If you are using a provider such as Nationwide Payments, you settle directly. If whoever's settling back to the merchant, if CurPay is implemented in there, you can just settle to their rails, right, to their bank account, and then they can settle weekly with the merchant on their credit card.
No, I'm just talking about from a reporting standpoint of, like I started in the credit card business. To give you an example, you would get in the days of in 2000, you would get a deposit for your Visa, MasterCard, a deposit for debit, a deposit for your diners, a deposit from Discover, and a deposit from American Express. Today, you get all that money. You can take all those cards and more, right? Because there's tons of cards that just ride on MasterCard or the Discover rail, right? And American Express Op Blue. So you can get all your money in one deposit. I think when you start doing all these like third party things, even like buy now, pay later, crypto, and you have lots of employees running transactions, you need to have a better way to reconcile those transactions. Like
We have that.
Okay.
We have that. And let me ask you a question. How long did it take debit cards to get accepted? Like when debit cards first came out?
When debit cards first came out and the PIN debit hit, that went like wildfire. Every business wanted a PIN pad. That was the hottest thing. We just walk in and go, "Oh, do you want to get a PIN pad? Oh, you're only going to pay 79 cents a transaction." Everybody would sign up.
Right.
Everybody. That's the whole thing, is if you have something that's going to be as fast as credit cards, going to be accountable, right? So they're going to be able to see it like in their software somewhere, and they're going to have a report, and there's not going to be like a glitch with the employees, then it's going to work. But if it's not going to be that way, then it's going to be it's a problem. Like we had strip clubs that would have a problem. They would give a guy a QR code for $5,000. The guy would only have $3,000 in his wallet, and the transaction would be partially approved. Nobody knew. Nobody was checking it. They just knew the guy paid, but nobody looked to see like, oh, that only got partially approved. Hey, you still owe us $2,000. They found out the next day, and then they get mad, and we're like, no, we showed you that you have to go check that. That's the part. That's the part where
we have instant live reporting that shows you exactly how much you receive.
I know, but if you got 20 employees in your restaurant, right? The employees don't care. They just want the person to check out and pay. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to have a system where it's tied into the point of sale, where it's tied back to the credit card machine, where receipts are printing out, and not an email, not a text message, not go check the app, because that's too much work. If I'm the business owner and I'm just issuing an invoice and then I'm getting paid, obviously I can monitor that a lot better in that kind of environment. But in like a fast-paced environment, I think there's a lot of work to be done before that can be like totally accepted in businesses.
True. And then I think also too, we have the ability to do underpayments, right? So Ted built in that if anybody were to produce a POS transaction for 500 and you tried to pay the 300 like you're talking about, it automatically boot the transaction. So it's not going to accept it.
Right, but
So
I'm saying
that
they don't know, where does the decline message go?
It'd be right on the device.
Right on the device.
Right in front of the whoever's producing it to the consumer.
I think I think the product is good for, like, you have a luxury business, a jewelry store, you're selling a car, you're in a more controlled environment. I think it's going to work. I think that we're a long way from like people are checking out at the grocery store, and you have this. That's why I always say, credit cards, why does it work? Because it's fast paced, boom, boom, boom. Everybody's paying really fast and you're moving through the line, right? I mean, who hates it when you get in line at Publix and you got some 80-year-old lady in front of you and she starts whipping out the checkbook, or somebody's whipping out a bunch of cash, and sometimes you have a young cashier that they're looking at the bills like, what is that? Right. And then they got to give the person back some change. They're like freaking out, like they haven't done that, because if you sit and you just watch, like at a grocery store or any kind of even Costco or something, or a movie theater, the line is just going boom, boom, boom. Everybody's just swipe, 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 swipe. It'd be really cool if somebody figured out like, hey, let's put this coin on a card. I mean, I know Coinbase has a card, right? And then you can pay your bill at the end of the month by cashing out your coin and paying the bill, or you just send them a check. You just pay out of your bank account. But it would be really cool if it was like on a card, and then it would be more accountable for that flow, like, that flow of business. Otherwise, I see it for, listen, we had a bunch of jewelry guys doing it, but then they all stopped. And I think they all went like the route of the cold wallet kind of deal. And, and started doing it like do it yourself kind of deal.
And that's the cool thing about crypto, right? Is that it puts the power in the in your hands, not a bank, not anybody else.
Yeah, well, that's where, how does that fit into the business world is what I think
Yeah,
people kind of figure out. Like, how does that fit into like a restaurant or a grocery store accepting some kind of crypto, you know, and then being able to train all your cashiers or all your servers in a restaurant that have how it works and have it be as fast as a credit card.
yeah, people are doing it. People are
Yeah.
doing it. There's people that live totally on crypto. They don't pay. They pay all their bills in crypto. They pay everything with crypto. They go into the right stores that accept crypto,
Right.
whether that be with a service. Some of these places are doing it as a service, and some of them are doing it like you said with a cold wallet. The tech savvy ones are just have their own cold wallet and say, hey, send me this, and they get a notification. They look at their wallet, and say, hey, I received this. Go ahead, take your phone, take your necklace, whatever.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think they got to come up with some more universal ways on how to use this so that it's more acceptable, like on a much larger scale.
And
So
that's what we're working
It's coming.
towards.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
what
coming.
we have that, and if again, these are just policies and procedures that merchants want. They're done this way. Cool, we build it for them. We're more of a technology company that we build things for people.
And do you think, let me ask you a question, Alan. So now that Trump is in office, right? With the last time we spoke, it was early. Crypto was new, right? Dial-up internet days of crypto. The more that people learn about it, education and adoption, right? If you are able to educate.
Chris, you cut
Oh,
out.
we lost your sound, buddy.
Hello?
Yep, there you
Yep,
go.
Back?
we got
All
you.
right. Yeah, so like nowadays, more people are coming to realize what cryptocurrency is. Back in the early days, you had people that, like we talked about, I knew Ted, Ted told me, people tell, it just was word of mouth. Now that you see it all in the news all the time, you're going to see a lot more adoption and people wanting to purchase and merchants down the street saying, hey, this guy has it, I need to have it. And then that's where it blossoms a bit at the lower level, the retail levels, right? I think you're right on the luxury piece and the corporate side. But the day is coming, and like Ted had mentioned Dash before, they have a really great merchant network already. And I think from a personal standpoint, um, there needs to be that coin that everybody agrees is going to be the one that you can use for transactional, like day to days, I
Yeah,
think, right?
definitely. I think something needs to be decided by who knows, the federal government or consensus of some organization. But I think also the banks need to, kind of understand like people are going to putting this crypto, cashing out this crypto and putting it into their bank accounts. But then again, it just comes down to, at some point, the government is going to have a way to monitor crypto the same way they monitor cash and credit cards and ACH and wires,
And they're
et
doing
cetera.
they're doing that now. Like the FBI's got a great system of how they monitor things. Like it used to be that people were getting their computers locked up, and you had to pay X amount into some wallet and to get it unlocked, or whole utility companies. It was happening, but now
Yeah.
the FBI can find those people so fast. They
Right.
can't use that money. They it's if that was me dropping off $100,000 to the utility to or the utility dropped $100,000 off to me to unlock their computers, it would be a completely different story. But with crypto, they know follow the money. They can follow the money so easy in crypto. And while that's a good thing, it's also a bad thing because it takes out the anonymity that people want. But hey, you got to take the good with the bad.
Well, I think it's just got to merge. I think like the bank,
Yes.
at some point, they need to take the government, whether it's Trump or it's the person after him, they got to figure out like, okay, we're going to take this crypto and we're going to merge it into the Fed or some whatever, or some other organization that's going to work with the Fed so that it all can work together so people can, use digital money. I mean, I think the part of it is people don't want to see their dollars that they have in their bank account turn into some kind of digital currency,
Yeah.
right? Because they don't want to have any volatility with that coin. And that's kind of where I think it needs to go, is that there's that whatever coin everybody's transacting with is a dollar, right? It's a dollar. The rest of everything else is like an investment piece.
Right. But it
So
needs to be, it needs to be decentralized. Stay decentralized though. You can't have it centralized. It takes away a lot.
Well, no, I'm just talking about from a monitoring standpoint.
Yeah, from a
I
monitoring
remember
standpoint, for sure.
I did like 300 or 400 transactions on Coinbase, and my brother's like, you got to pay taxes with all that blah 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 you're doing. And I'm like, okay. So then I downloaded all these transactions from Coinbase, and then my brother's like, oh, now you got to go on this take a spreadsheet. I'm like, dude, like you like. What, how am I supposed to figure that out? And then there was some company, I'm not going to remember the name of it. I can't remember. It's called Coin Ledger or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you download all your stuff from Coinbase, and then you upload it to this Coin Ledger thing. And then the Coin Ledger figures out like all the stuff that you did, how much cash you put in, what fees did you pay on the way in, then how much cash did you take out, how many fees you pay, what fees you paid on the way out, what did you invest, and then what was the net profit.
Right, exactly.
So it figured out like that whole thing. But it was, when I first did it the first time, that was a huge process. That was a pain in the butt. Today, Coinbase just gives you that data.
Exactly.
They just spit it out on a PDF and you're done. But in the beginning, that's not how it was. And I was doing a lot of buying and selling of Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, a bunch of stuff like that. So it's much easier today to get.
And it'll continue to get easier.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah.
I have a question.
So if people want to trade crypto, where do they go? Do they go to CurPay.com and sign up for an account there?
No, of course. That's definitely what they want to do, but they need to get on an exchange. So a reputable exchange. If you're in the States, it's got to be Gemini, it's got to be Coinbase, it's got to be Kraken. Get on a reputable exchange. Then sign up for CurPay and tie your account into it, and then CurPay handles the rest for you.
Okay, and then you put cash on the exchange.
Yeah, you deal with that exchange, and like I said, it has to be reputable. Don't do a fly by night. Hey, I got this exchange; it's new, and use a reputable exchange. And understand if when you have coins on a exchange, they hold the coins for you. It's their responsibility to hold the coins.
Right, they hold the coins for you.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set up a CurPay account. I have a bunch of crypto, about $4 or $5 grand on the on Coinbase. Let's see if we can turn it into some more money.
Let's do a demo with it. We'll show you exactly how to set up your account. What coin you can pick, any coin that Coinbase trades, and let the AI take care of it. It'll buy some of this, it'll sell some of that, and when this goes up, it'll sell it. When that goes down, it'll buy it. It handles everything for you.
I think, Alan, so you should, I want to go back to your thing where you said put in $50 and see what happens over a time frame. You should do the B2B Vault $25, $50 CurPay challenge, and your listeners and your followers all get in and put $50 in on a single coin. You choose the coin, and then you set your parameters, and whoever has the most returns over X time frame is deemed the winner of the B2B Vault CurPay challenge.
We'll have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll send you some ideas on that.
So if you own a business and you think you want to accept, especially a luxury business right now, and you want to accept crypto in your business, you can reach out to me at Nationwide Payment Systems, and we can help you get set up with CurPay on the merchant side so that you can accept crypto and you can either keep the crypto or you can get fiat into your bank account, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys give us a little sign off.
Yes, sir.
Give us a CurPay pitch.
Yes, CurPay, seamless to consumer, risk-free to merchant solution, allowing you to accept up to 60 coins, aggregate it back, like Alan mentioned, to a specific asset, to a stable coin and or fiat. Simple, easy to use API, reoccurring invoicing, and POS software. And then on the trader side, non-custodial, which is super nice and easy to hook up to your exchange. Touch base with us and we'll hook you up. And thank you for having us today, Alan. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yes,
Ted,
thank you,
last
Alan.
words.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, Alan. You're one of the biggest in the industry, and we always appreciate your advice and your direction that you've given us.
For sure.
All right. Well, thanks for having you guys on today, Chris and Ted. Known each other for a couple of years. Anybody's interested in CurPay can reach out to them directly or can reach out to me. We'll help you get the information you need and get you set up. And, you never know, you might get a big customer come in and want to pay you with some crypto. So I think we're going to see more of that. I think we're going to see crypto start to inch its way back into the business world in a big way in 2025.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to our listeners for listening to B2B Vault today. Want more info about crypto? Again, reach out to us. Otherwise, if you like the episode, like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends about it. And crypto 2025, let's go.
Let's go.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, peace out. Carpe diem.